During my phase as an extreme minimalist, I was an apprentice and I didn't have much money. I was also a frugalist and I tried to spend as little as possible on any item that I had. Hey, my name is Undine. I make videos about minimalism and mindfulness, and today's video is going to be about my time as an extreme minimalist and what I learned from that. So here are my 5 major insights. Number 1, I like to have more choices. When I was an extreme minimalist, for instance, I had 2 pairs of pants and 8 shirts, all black. And you know, at some point I started to work in a company and I needed more clothes just to look more businessy, or I wanted to look more businessy. So this was just not practical for me anymore and I made a compromise. I made plenty of these compromises during the last few years, so I've got more stuff now than when I was an extreme minimalist. And that's okay with me because I actually enjoy having more choices, and that was a good development for me. Another example is my camera stuff. I own 3 tripods and not one of them is redundant for me. So I really use all of them, and that is also the main criterion for me to decide whether or not some item is really necessary or not. Being an extreme minimalist really helped me to redefine the word need for myself. And this is something that stayed with me for until today. So I have a different understanding of necessity and luxury. And I prefer to align my life more with the necessities than with the luxuries. That has not changed from extreme minimalism to normal minimalism. And being intentional in my decisions and making myself be more aware of that always helps me in finding whether I need something or not. Anyway, point number 2, I really miss having less furniture or no furniture. Today I live with my family, that's my husband and my kid, and for instance I have a sofa and I have this closet here behind me which contains all my camera equipment and all my clothes winter and summer. And I also have this desk where I work at. But there was a time when I didn't have these kind of items. I only had a bed, and for a while I also worked on the floor with my laptop. And I had 1 pan and 1 spoon and 1 knife and so on. You get the picture, right? So I don't know, I was pretty happy back then. I wouldn't say that I'm sad about it now, but I kind of get romantic about that time, you know. So when I was moving out for the first time from home and I had this really, really empty apartment and I loved just this amount of space that I couldn't fill with furniture, and everyone was coming into my apartment telling me, you are gonna buy this or that, right? And I was like, not really. So I don't know, I kind of loved it. Anyway, because of my back, this friend here, I really found that I need a desk to work on. I can't avoid having a desk. I cannot work on the floor, and I don't want some weird little desk that I can, stick to my computer and take out whenever I need it. I really want a desk where I can put on stuff that my kid can't reach, and I like to have a desk where I can work on sitting up straight. And so a desk is really nice for me, and I don't regret having one. It's still rather minimalist compared to what the average person would call a desk, I guess. But for me, this has been a huge step, a desk, and even more a sofa. But when we have guests, they can sleep on it. So that's a good compromise. It's also something I would say, this switch from extreme minimalism to minimalism is really about for me. It's about being more practical. Because if you want guests and you don't want them to sleep on the floor on some yoga mat, then you gotta provide them some sleeping place, And for me, yes, it's itching. But I also really like to offer people my sofa, and I know that a lot of people don't like to sit on the floor like I do, so I respect that. And in a way, my place is also a place for my guests, and that's a nice idea for me. Point number 4, about the closet. Yeah, this one behind me, the big one. This has been with me since I was a little child, but it was standing in my mother's apartment until she moved into a smaller apartment, and then she told me, well, get your closet, kid. And well, I I got the closet. And it was so much fun to drag it up to the 3rd floor, you know. Anyway, I think it's a nice container for all my stuff. And one major learning from switching back to normal minimalism is that one big piece of furniture can really change the whole atmosphere of a room. If it's positioned right, if it looks nice and so on, you know. So this is a compromise for me too. Yeah, I would like to have something made of fabric, for instance, that I could just fold and pack into a tiny sack so I can take it with me anywhere. But, well, I got this closet and I don't want any other closet, and eventually I would have gotten one anyway. So I like to have this one. I mean, it's the most sustainable solution for me, and it's pretty old. I really like that thing. So it adds to my room and it fits my style, and I'm happy with that. And I can really recommend to get like one piece of furniture that is not super minimalist, but that makes you happy and that looks nice, because that will be the center of your room. Everyone will look at it, you will look at it, and it might make you happy. So if you have something in mind that you're thinking about and you're just thinking like, oh no, that's not very minimalist. Minimalism is an individual choice. So don't let others tell you what to be like, how to be minimal or not. It doesn't depend on the amount of furniture. It depends on the amount of furniture that you are happy with and that you deem necessary. It's about necessity versus luxury, or about necessity versus redundancy, if you want. Point number 5. During my phase as an extreme minimalist, I was an apprentice and I didn't have much money. I was also a frugalist, and I tried to spend as little as possible on any item that I had. So I was not investing in any sustainable fashion or furniture at that point. Today, this is much more important to me, as I can afford some sort of sustainable stuff, and I like to have quality, long life products. I do mostly shop secondhand though, as I think it's both cheap, chic, and sustainable. So that is the perfect combination for me. But the major insight here is that I really define myself a little bit more about my items. I didn't care about what I owned in the past. I was rather careless, but today this kind of style and the things that I own and the clothes that I wear is all part of my mindfulness practice for me. This might sound superficial or a bit arrogant, but that's not what I mean. I mean, I just love having nice things around me. They don't have to be expensive. I prefer if they are sustainable and high quality, but that doesn't mean that they have to be some super chic design items like design furniture or really expensive clothes. I mean, you have a whole spectrum of choices here. You can go from basic shirts to high quality, high fashion, and that is definitely not where I am going. I just want it simple and nice, but I want it nice. So these were my 5 major learnings from being an extreme minimalist. I bet there are many, many more. If you have questions, just let me know. If you are an extreme minimalist, please share your thoughts on this with me. I would really, really love to hear them. Or if you're fascinated by extreme minimalism, please tell me why, and why are you thinking about this? What do you think it will give you? Because it gave me a lot, but I didn't stick with it for more than 5 years. Because after that, I basically noticed that I just needed more stuff, and many things were just not practical for me. I will make a few more videos about this if you're interested, so let me know in the comments. And well, that's it. Ihr Schrank ist schon ziemlich cool, also ich mag den Schrank. Is it better with this thing or without it? What do you call this? I don't even know the word for this in German. I think it's called a cat. I would call this a Puschel. Schwämmchen. Sponge. Yeah, that's a sponge.